News from the old world just got a little bit of an update. Yes, we have some more information from the good old world of Warhammer Fantasy Battles. And it's quite an interesting one. You see, we've seen lore, we've seen artwork, and that was all good. It's all good. What's a miniature game without miniatures? Of course, it's not a miniature game, it's anything else. But now we have a look at the most important parts, or most important aspect of this old world. The bits. Revealing the weapons of war. First, we can see that we have some Bretonnian knight helmets. One with a dragon, one with a phoenix, and one with antlers. I really like the antlers one. It looks very good in my opinion, and it gives me the whole Baratheon feel to it. I like the Baratheon house in Game of Thrones. I like their history, I like the way they do war. Under them we can see that we have some nice shields, ornamented with the fleur-de-lis, or in the case of the middle one, half of it. But still, they look pretty nice, and it really speaks to that aspect of Bretonnia being like this whole fake France thing, or medieval period, whatever. It really speaks to it, and I feel it captures it pretty well, including with the helmets. Because a good old bucket helmet is always nice to have on your knights, and they look pretty good, especially with the dragon phoenix and the antlers thing. I really feel this looks good. Kit bash wise, those shields, you see them? You could easily put them on your Sisters of Battle. They would look pretty good, especially with a sword or a chain sword, chain axe if possible. If you can take some from those corn miniatures and combine it with this, you could have some pretty badass melee Sisters of Battle. Let's be honest, it is pretty cool. Now next we will be looking at the weapons of these Bretonnian knights. We have a nice assortment of swords and an axe. By the looks of it, they all seem to be right-handed. My only problem with always having miniatures that are right-handed is not because I want left-handed, you know, what's it called, diversity and stuff, but I think it looks very good when you're trying to build an all melee army that everybody has a sword. And this is something I've run into when trying to make melee Space Marines, a lot of them. Because sometimes the hands are not the proper fit for some things. But that aside, the weapons look good. You can see the sword on the lower left is adorned with 3 fleur-de-lises. As I think is the axe. Does it count for the axe? Because technically 2 of them count. The other one I think is just a tip of the weapon. Again, they're pretty good. Oh yeah, I forgot that the one on the rightmost side of the upper part also has 1 fleur-de-lis. Nevertheless, again, it's pretty cool, and again, melee Sisters of Battle with all these fleur-de-lises and everything. Now, if you want, you can also put them on your guardsmen. Technically, I'm saying Sisters of Battle because I think the proportions will work for the Sisters of Battle, as I think they will work for Space Marines. Primaris, of course, but whatever. But I'm not sure they will work that well for Guardsmen. Of course, it requires some modification here and there to make it look proper. Some sanding, I guess, of some parts. Again, this could also be used on your Guardsmen. You can make a veteran unit of melee Guardsmen. Or you can have your Sergeant wear one of these as a power sword. Again, they look pretty cool. They could fit and be used so much. But you see, this whole exposition of Bitsies is not only focused on the Bretonnian aspect, but also on none other than the Kemari aspect. the undead lords themselves. And this image really has a lot going for it. We have a nice shield that could very well be used for your breacher squad if you are making Thousand Suns breachers, whatever you want to call them. It can also work as a legion for a legionnaire or special character you want to make up. That shield, it works. And I'm saying that only because of the scarab above the skeleton with wings. The skeleton, you know, take it or leave it, I guess. But it works. I see it working exceptionally well with Thousand Suns, that one. Now, of course, we can look at the big pointy staff, which I think is also supposed to be a weapon. One of those, I guess, Aztec, was it? I can't really remember well. But again, it's pretty nice. Of course, you can use this on your Necron Overlord or Necron Lord to give him a little bit more oomph and aspect, if you wish. If you have a death cult of, I guess, guardsmen or sororitas, I could possibly put it there. Again, it's all about a size issue with these ones. I'm expecting them to also work for guardsmen pretty well, but we'll have to see how big the miniatures are. But again, this, by the way, the whole set could work really well for a death cult, like death worshippers that go into battle without caring in 40k. Next we have some blades that look phenomenally well, I would say. One I think is supposed to be a hand glaive. We got a little Kopesh-like thing. I think it's supposed to be a greater sword or some sort of spear or polearm. I think that's the intention of it. And then we have the good old reliable trident. You know, I'm just thinking of putting like everything of these on Space Marines at this point. But the trident looks pretty decent, I would say, and I'm only saying decent because it's a trident and I'm not that big of a fan of trident weapons. But could work again on a legionnaire, not a legionnaire, what was it? Legion Master, whatever. It also could work very well for your Necrons the same way the staff right there works for a Necron Lord. Or you can have some special character in the squad that deserve this upgrade to use this weapon. I don't really know how Necrons work with melee, to be honest, but still, could work. Above them we have something more interesting. They're decorative pieces by the looks of it, and I think that's what they are. A bunch of scarabs and a scorpion. Of course, the Tomb Kings come from a desert country, desert place, so it makes sense the whole scarab and, you know, scorpions part. Fake Egypt, whatever you want to say. But those could very well be used to amplify the look of your Thousand Suns army, or even the look of your Necron army. Quite frankly, you can use them instead of those like cryptic, I guess. But of course, you have to understand, these look to be smaller in size than the bug things Necrons have. Again, they can still work very well on your Thousand Sun army. Thousand Suns, sure. Like everything from the Tomb Kings, by the looks of it, could work for that. And finally, we have this thing that looks to be a flail. It looks like it has like 3 maces tied together tied on chains, and then they all meet in one point that's also mobile, and you can use it to swing it at people. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a fan of this last weapon, the one right next to the scarabs to their left. I'm not a fan of it at all. I don't like it. Then again, it's mostly because I'm not that big into flails either. Can get them, but this design of flails just feels weird, uncomfortable. more dangerous for yourself, but then again, when you consider who wields these weapons, does it matter? In the end, does it really matter that it's more dangerous for the creature that isn't dead, though it should be? I think not. This can stay with the Tomb Kings, and I think the Tomb Kings are the only ones that can really make this weapon or this style of weapon work. And that's about it. I wouldn't put this on the Space Marine, a Necron. I wouldn't put this on anything, to be honest. Except the Tomb King, but sure, they can have something special. This can be their own thing that I won't use on other stuff. Not a big fan of it, but sure, whatever. It works, I guess. Overall, these images are pretty nice. They really tell us a lot. A big lot, in fact. It really speaks to something with it, that they're putting so much effort and stuff into the world. So, you know what? Be that as it may, it's a nice preview for the old world, and I'm quite looking forward to, looking up, no, not looking up, I don't get the word, but whatever. I'm really expecting this to be pretty good when it comes out. But that's one thing Games Workshop always had, was good miniatures. So yes, this has been all for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.